Before going further, let us take a look at few important points. The first point is sigma dot should be a function of input u for successful design of the controller. Let's take a look at this claim. So what is sigma dot? Sigma dot is x2 dot plus cx2. Sigma dot is function of x2 dot. So this x2 dot should be a function of u. So it is like it tells that control by force is possible. It tells that control by only force term is possible. Again, for this control scheme to work, we have to maintain sigma dot less than equal to 0 until sigma goes to 0. And to make this happen, sigma dot should contain u term in its equation. So sigma should be chosen accordingly. So what I want to convey here is choose sigma such that sigma dot is a function of u and thus the controller will work. The second important point, which we know already by now from the previous videos, is in the control input u equal to minus cx2 minus rho sine sigma. Sigma equal to L plus alpha by root 2, where L is to compensate the bounded disturbance. Remember, it is to compensate the bounded disturbance. Unbounded disturbance can't be compensated. And alpha by root 2 is responsible to determine reaching time, how fast the finite time convergence is going to happen. How fast the finite time convergence of V, ultimately alpha, is going to happen. So that is that impacts the reaching time. Okay, so let us take a look at the simulation once again. These were the parameters chosen for the simulation: the initial velocity, the initial position, value of rho, the value of c, the disturbance. And this was the definition for the system: x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to u plus disturbance. This was the sigma, and this is the control input that we found out. So after the simulation, if we take a look at the control input u, if we see till this 0.4 seconds, this is the portion in which sigma has not yet become 0. It is trying to become 0. So here sigma is following sigma dot is less than 0. It is following v is following v dot is less than equal to minus alpha v to the power half, and thus if you put the values of sigma you will get this equation. But this is the time when sigma is trying to go to 0. Next is the phase when sigma has become almost 0. So in this phase, x1 dot becomes minus cx1. Now x1 and x2 are going to 0 as t tends to infinity. Again, this is the phase till almost 0.4 second where sigma has not yet become 0, but it is trying to reach, says sigma equal to 0. So the condition that we get if we put the value of sigma in the equation of v dot less than equal to minus alpha v to the power half, we get sigma dot less than equal to minus alpha by root 2 mod of sigma. This condition, when sigma is trying to reach 0, is called reachability condition. Now let us try to answer one of the most interesting question, that why this control is called sliding mode control. If you think in case of PID control, it is called PID control because it is made out of proportional, integral and derivative terms. In case of state feedback control, all the states or some of the states are fed back. So it is called state feedback control. Why this is sliding mode control? To answer this question, let us start with the amazing 3D plot between position, velocity, and sigma. Here the position is in the x-axis, the velocity is in the y-axis, the sigma is in z-axis. In this 3D plot, sigma equal to 0 is a surface which you can see here. Irrespective of the initial values of position or velocity, if you were following this control, then you would have ended up in this surface of sigma equal to 0. Let's try to think what happens on this surface. If sigma equal to 0 and sigma is kept almost equal to 0, then x1 dot equal to minus cx1. So x1 and x2, the position and velocity will automatically go to 0 as t tends to infinity. So this is a slide for the variables x1 and x2. And thus the surface of sigma equal to 0 is sliding surface. And thus the name of sliding mode control. And again, as we have seen earlier, the part till sigma has not become 0 and sigma is trying to become 0 it is following reachability condition. So this is the reaching phase. And so it will be obvious when sigma has become 0 and now x1 and x2 are going to 0, this is the sliding phase. So with all this knowledge, let me write this very important statement. The input that drives the state variable x1 and x2 to sliding surface in finite time tr and keep them on the surface thereafter in presence of bounded disturbance f is called sliding mode controller. So the U is the sliding mode controller. Let us take a look at the phase portrait again. Now it will be easy to identify various phases in the phase portrait. Phase portrait is a plot between the state and its derivative. In this case, it is the plot between position and the velocity. So till this part, this is the reaching phase. It is following the reachability condition. And after this, it is sliding phase, where sigma has become 0. x1 and x2 are going to 0. So with this knowledge, we can start naming the graphs of control input u versus time. So this part will be the reaching phase, this part will be the sliding phase, and similarly sigma versus time, this part will be the reaching phase and this one will be sliding phase. Now knowing all these, what would you have named sigma if given a choice? I think the most obvious choice would have been sigma is sliding variable. So sigma is called sliding variable. Because when sigma goes to 0, x1 and x2 start sliding on the sliding surface. Before closing, let us recap what is covered in this video. First, the sigma dot have to be a function of u, so choose sigma accordingly. Second, rho is composed of L and alpha by root 2, where L is to compensate the bounded disturbance and alpha is responsible for the reaching time. After simulating with the specified value given in the first chapter of the book mentioned in the description below, which I guess everybody uses to learn sliding mode control, we arrive at these plots. So this is the plot of control input versus time. Here we have specified the reaching phase, the sliding phase, similarly the plot of sigma with respect to time. Here the reaching phase, and when sigma becomes 0, it is the sliding phase. Similarly the plot of position, velocity and sigma, and then we arrive at this important statement and ultimately the phase portrait. And thus we come to an end of sliding mode control videos. This is all I wanted to say in the series of videos for sliding mode control. Try to implement in some places, try to implement especially in physical systems, because this nonlinear controller will be effective in some physical systems. Otherwise, try to solve the first exercise problem in the first chapter of the book mentioned in the description below. So till next time, signing off and happy sliding mode control.